This video I've known was going to be one of my next projects for a little bit now, and wasn't really sure when to start it, but today seems like a good day because I just got back from dinner, and while I was at dinner, I was checking in on the world and noticed that my crypto account has been roughly cut in half. Surprise! I kind of knew I was gonna be in a position where I should have been selling when things were going a little crazy a couple of weeks ago. So just for reference, it's like April 2024. Crypto, it's been kind of going nuts a little bit. And I've been holding on. I knew I wanted to sell this year at some point, but I didn't, and my account is just about cut in half now. Yay, yay. And also today, there is some worldwide world forum turmoil going on that hopefully everything's okay. So anyway, even before my crypto account got cut in half, the economy has not been great, and this topic has been on my mind. The topic, I'm not going to say it just yet, I will say society and stories and video games and movies have kind of hinted at this our entire life, and we haven't really ever said, oh, hey, we hear what you're saying, because no one actually takes action on this. The topic is, no matter where you live, you're going to find some sort of exchange where you can make this happen. And I'm in a parking lot parked, and I'm going to show you what the topic is going to be for this next video project, this video you're watching right now. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to show you what we're talking about. Shout out to Nasser Jewelers. I've had them do some work for me. Cash for gold. Cash for gold. They're essentially a gold exchange. So, gold is the only real money. Everyone thinks, oh, crypto is fake. Guess what? The US dollar is also fake. The only real money is gold. 300 ounces, I believe is the figure. 300 ounces of gold in 1960 would have bought you a house. 300 ounces today in 2024 will buy you a house. In fact, a better house. So, gold is the real money. Back in 1960, 300 ounces of gold was worth less than $10,000, and that would have bought you a house back then. However, all these years later, we are well aware $10,000 will not buy you a house. So gold has scaled appropriately, whereas US cash has not. US cash is subject to inflation, whereas gold has, as far as I can see, we're going to explore this in this video, but I want to say, like, gold has an average 8 to 10% gain compounded per year, you know, at least probably over the last 100 years. And actually, with the US dollar inflating so heavily, we're actually seeing that it's probably closer to 13% right now, because as inflation increases, again, gold is the real money. So again, as we're going to see, our culture, many cultures have basically let us in on that secret, where, you know, a lot of video games and stories revolve around collecting the gold, because it's the real money. US dollar isn't real. The British pound is not real. The euro is not real. These are just printed, and they're all subject to inflation. Gold is real. If you were to collect your salary in gold and put it aside, you know, you didn't spend it, you're actually gonna maintain your value. Whereas if you collect your salary as cash and put it in the bank, you're gonna be experiencing inflation. So your value is gonna be going down constantly. So yeah, this whole video is going to be about gold, and stay tuned probably for a little snippet of video game footage, just kind of showing how important gold is. And then, you know, we're gonna talk about a little more after that.
In a world of pixels, I'm the one who stands tall, collecting gold coins. I gotta catch 'em all with a jump and a dash. I'm leaping through the screen, gonna be the king of wind, if you know what I mean. Got my powers and my trusty gamepad, dodging enemies and jumping platforms like a pro. Got the high score, I'm on top of the game, I'm the golden champion. They don't know my name. From the mushroom kingdom to outer space, I'm ruling every level, I'm setting the pace. With my rhymes and beats, I'm the retro game star, rocking the case, taking it oh so far. Taking it oh so far.
All right, hello everyone. I'm just doing this video because I really like to help people, and you know, hopefully be able to offer some insight to better people's lives. I can, in regards to this topic, I can think of an instant, maybe about 5 to 7 years ago, where someone had come to me asking me what would be a smart move when coming into a large sum of money. So we're just gonna pull a completely figurative figure, and we'll just say this is a sum of about $100,000. If you ever come into a large sum of money, such as $100,000, this could be winning the lottery, getting some sort of once-in-a-lifetime contract, some sort of inheritance. If you ever get a large sum of money, what are you going to do with that money? What can you do? Do you sit on cash and stash it under your mattress? Do you gamble it away at the casino? Do you buy a bunch of scratch tickets and try to double up on your winnings? Do you dump it into the stock market? I feel the stock market is a great avenue for growth of wealth over time, but I also believe that if you take $100,000 and dump it on some random stock, you could easily lose 40 or even 90% of your wealth. So I don't think the stock market, is safe in that regard. I'm more a fan of building wealth through the stock market over time by dollar cost averaging and spreading your risk. But yeah, when it comes to a large sum of money, I do not believe the stock market is always going to be your best bet. And putting the cash under your mattress is not going to be a good idea, as we're just about to see with our first slide here. It's U.S. inflation. From 2004 to 2024, we've had a total of about 66.08%, which is about 3.304% per year average. So basically, for those who do not know, that indicates that if you have a dollar, that dollar is going to lose value each year because the cost of goods and services is going up every year. So if you are just sitting on money under your mattress, as it sits there, the value of that money is going down over time. The economy isn't designed for that to gain value. So right now, 2024 gold values, 1 kilo, which is a lot of gold, 74,459.40. 1 ounce is 2,316, and 1 gram is about 28 grams in an ounce, approximate. 74.46. These values are as of 4/27/24. So the value of gold, 1 ounce, we get a chart here from 2004 to 2024. So 2004, you can see the value of gold was below $500 an ounce. 2009, it was very nearly $1,000 an ounce. And 10 years later, the value of gold was approaching $1,500, and today in 2024, it's over $2,000 an ounce. It's going up over time. Likewise, the buying power of $100, if you graduated high school in 2004 and got a crisp $100 bill for your graduation at a party, if you sit on that money, by 2009, it's only going to be worth a little more than $80. 10 more years, it's going to be worth under $80. And 2024, it's going to be worth about $60. So the value of that $100 bill is going down. You're going to be able to get less for your money because of inflation. So sitting on the US dollar under your mattress is not going to be a good bet. And you can even put that into a savings account, but even savings accounts are not going to keep up with the rate of inflation. We know you're lucky to get 1 to 2% interest on savings, and that's still going to be below the rate of inflation. Now, if we look at home values in Boston, if we actually calculate this by gold, in 1970, it was going to take about between just over 400 ounces of gold to buy a house. By 2004, it's going to be over 900 ounces. But then by 2009, it was below 300 ounces in gold. And 2019, it was going to be below 500 ounces of gold would have bought you a house in Boston. And 2024, around 400 ounces will buy you a house. So, it's kind of all over the board with gold. But we can see even when the economy is not doing great, gold is still going to retain its buying power. Now, if we convert to cash, we see that from 1970 to 2024, more or less, aside from this 2008 crash we had that kind of knocked down home prices in Boston from 2008 to 2009, but you need more and more dollars as time goes on. So if you save $100,000, the longer you wait to buy a house, the more and more unreachable the home ownership becomes. Versus gold, gold is more retaining its value. So if anything, in some cases over time, less gold is needed to buy a house. So gold is just a lot more stable in that regard. Now, if we look at the minimum wage in Boston by the US dollar, from 1970 to 2024, 40 hours at minimum wage, weekly pay. So 1970, you were probably around $60 for the week. By 2004, you were getting, below 300, probably around $280 a week. 2009, just over $300 a week. 2019, you were getting about $480 a week. In 2024, about $600 a week. So your weekly pay is going up as time goes on. However, when we convert this to grams, we find that over time, we are actually getting less and less for the time we're putting in. So 1970, we could expect to get somewhere in the range of 50 to 52 grams of gold per week. 2004, we were getting below 20 grams of gold per week. By 2009, just 5 years later, we were getting below 9 grams of gold per week. That stayed roughly the same till about 2019, and now in 2024, despite the fact that our minimum wage in Massachusetts has gone up to $15 an hour, we are now getting far less grams per gold per week, around 8. So we have this trend where we seem to be making more and more money over time. However, we are getting less and less money, products and services for that money over time. If we were theoretically paid in gold, we are finding that over time we are getting less and less gold per week as time goes on. However, the gold is actually over time going to be buying us more goods and services over time. So I think everyone can see where we're kind of leading with this, that if you come into some large sum of money, say $100,000, then maybe gold is your best bet for not only retention of your wealth, but growth of your wealth over time. And as you make money on a weekly basis, it may be a good idea to buy possibly a gram or 2 or 3 of gold every week as a part of your savings regimen, because over time that gold is going to increase in value a lot faster than your savings account, and in time that gold is going to buy more goods and services. I'd really like to hear people's thoughts in the comments, and hopefully this was able to help someone.